In the battle for Avdeevka, the Russian army conducts powerful assaults near Pervomaisky and Stepovoe, first in the Stepovoe direction. The Russians are pressing powerfully in the village itself, as well as north and south of it. North of the village, they are making progress towards Novobakhmutovka. Ukrainian military analysts admit fierce fighting continues in the area of the Avdeevsky Koksokim Zavod. Russian troops are attacking the plant with all types of heavy weapons. In the direction of Pervomaisky, the Russians advanced another 200 meters from the direction of Vodyanoy. From there, we advanced towards the 9th quarter of Avdeevka, also about 200 meters. The General Staff of the Armed Forces of Ukraine reported that the Russian army is not abandoning attempts to encircle Avdeevka. Over the past day, the Russian armed forces carried out 22 attacks east of Novokalinovoy, Novobakhmutovka, and Avdeevka, as well as 13 attacks in the Pervomaisky areas. The Russian army storms Bogdanovka and advances on a wide front 1.5 kilometers on the northern flank of Artyomovsk. North of Bogdanovka, the 200th Brigade and the Volunteer Corps occupied several forest belts and entered the settlement, occupying its northeastern part, Ukrainian military propagandists finally admitted. Southeast of Bogdanovka, Russian troops advanced along the railway. To the northeast of Popovsky Forest, the Russian armed forces have occupied the territory of the cemetery and are conducting offensive operations in the western and southwestern directions. During the assault, the territories of the Bakhmutsky Shliach Autodrome and the dairy farm west of Kromovo came under the control of the Russian airborne forces. The advance of Russian troops in an area up to 592 kilometers wide to a depth of 1.54 kilometers, admits Ukrainian resources. The Russian army continues to destroy the positions of the Ukrainian armed forces, attacking near Rabotino and Verbovoy. In the Orikhovsky sector of the Zaporozhye front, Russian units do not stop assault operations, developing their success with a series of intense attacks on the Kopani-Rabotino-Novoprokopovka Verbovo line. In the area of Kopani-Rabotino, Novoprokopovka, an attack infantry from the southern military district with powerful support from artillery, tanks, and attack drones destroyed the infantry of the Ukrainian armed forces, taking position after position. Between Novoprokopovka and Verbov, Russian troops continue to advance and gain a foothold in the northern direction. Near Verbovoy and Novopokrovka, airborne units with the support of MLRS, howitzers, tanks, and infantry fighting vehicles are constantly advancing with battles, capturing the Ukrainian armed forces' support forces. The armed forces of Ukraine are trying to hold positions and from time to time counterattack with infantry groups. In the evening, the General Staff of the Armed Forces of Ukraine reported attacks by the Russian armed forces west of Verbovoy and Robotino, where the Russians tried to oust Ukrainian units from their occupied lines. The Russian aerospace forces carried out airstrikes near Robotino and Orikhov. In the Liman direction, Russian troops continue to press in the direction of Yampolovka and Ternov. The fighting shifted to the eastern part of the Laptov Yar and the Kruglaya ravine. The Russians are advancing in an area up to 3.52 kilometers wide to a depth of up to 1.53 kilometers. Ukrainian military analysts quite accurately note in reports and maps. Positional combat operations continue in Serebryansky Forestry. On Friday, the General Staff of the Armed Forces of Ukraine reported that in the Liman direction, Russian troops carried out 4 attacks near the settlement of Terny. That's all for now, and thanks for watching.